Hi, my name is Larry Knopf and I'm president of First Capital Mortgage. Thank you so much for stopping by. Today we're going to talk about getting pre-qualified to buy a home. First, it's important to understand that the very first step that you have to take in looking to buy a home is you have to get pre-qualified for a mortgage. There is not a realtor out there who's going to spend any time with someone until they know for sure that you're actually eligible or qualified to buy a home. There's no seller out there that will allow you to even put an offer on their home unless they know that you are pre-qualified and they have a letter from a mortgage company that says you have been pre-qualified. So that's the important first step. Now we're going to talk about getting qualified for a mortgage or pre-qualified. There's actually 3 different levels of qualifying for a mortgage. The first level is pre-qualification. That's where you begin. And with pre-qualification, it's a very preliminary level. Really, it just consists of a phone conversation, and actually we do something very, very unique. We do a virtual pre-qualification that I'll tell you about in just a few minutes. It's pretty cool. I think you'll like that. Anyway, a pre-qualification is just a very preliminary discussion with you. We're going to talk a little bit about your employment history, your income. We'll probably take a look at one of the 3 credit bureaus just to get a general idea of where you stand financially, and we'll run numbers to see if in fact you appear to be eligible for financing. That's a pre-qualification. The next level of getting qualified for a loan is actually a pre-approval. And with a pre-approval, what we do is a little bit more detail work with you. We get more details on your employment history, more details on your income, possibly some assets, how much money you have saved, and we'll probably take a look at all 3 credit bureaus. With that information in hand, we upload that into the website of either Fannie Mae or Freddie Mac, and we run what's known as an automated underwriting decision. And in a matter of a minute, it will give us a decision on you, whether you're approved or whether you're not approved. So that's a pre-approval. Then the final step, the final level of getting qualified is actually a loan approval. With a loan approval, what we do is we put together a full loan application for you. We meet with you, get all the disclosures signed, we collect all of your documentation, income and assets, W-2s, pay stubs, bank statements, all that kind of stuff. We have an appraisal done on the house you want to buy, and we submit it to the lender. An underwriter actually reviews your file, all your documentation, and they give a decision. That's a loan approval. So those are the 3 different levels. You have pre-qualification, pre-approval, and loan approval. Loan approval is also known as a loan commitment or a fully underwritten loan commitment. So let's talk more about what a pre-qualification consists of. Now, we do something very cool. We do a virtual pre-qualification. For most people, it's just not convenient for them to come into the office for the preliminary commitment, the preliminary interview with us. So we do a virtual one where I will actually send you a link in an email if you have access to a computer, and I will let you share my desktop. And when you come onto my desktop, you're going to actually see me live via my webcam. Now, I won't be able to see you, but you'll actually be able to meet me. And then you're going to be able to see my desktop, and you'll be able to watch me as we go through and we calculate numbers and payment, and we'll look at your credit. With me, you'll actually be looking at the credit report I'm looking at. So you'll see your credit score, you'll see what trade lines are on your credit report, and if you have any problems, we'll be able to address those, and you'll be looking at what I'm looking at. So it's a very cool process. I think you'll like that a lot. Anyway, the very first thing we start off with when we're discussing a pre-qualification is we talk about your employment history. Now, a lender's going to look for a history of 2 years of where you've been working. It doesn't have to be at the same place. They're just looking for consistency of employment. They're going, hey, I'm about to lend somebody, this person, money for 30 years. I want to at least see what they've been doing for the last 24 months. Now, there are exceptions to you not having a full 24-month work history. Perhaps you were laid off and then you went back to work, or you were laid off and you found another job. Maybe you were a student, things like that. So there are exceptions to that rule, but in general, we're looking for a 24-month employment history. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to really get into determining how much income we can qualify you with, whether you're hourly, salary, whether you have commissions, bonuses, incentives, whether you're self-employed. We would need tax returns to determine that. So we're going to really nail down your income because that's a critical element of this process. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to talk about assets. Assets are money you have saved. Now, it's important to know that we have 2 loan programs out there right now that require you to put no money down at all. Now, it doesn't mean that it's not good to have money in the bank, even if you're not going to use it in the transaction. And here's why. When a lender is looking at you as a prospective borrower of money from them, if they have anything in the qualifying aspect that's borderline, or maybe let's say your debts are a little bit high for your income level, if the lender sees you have shown the ability to save money either in a 401k or an IRA or in your savings account or checking account, they're going to be a little more lenient in making an exception on the fact that your debts are maybe a little bit high for your income level. If you have a high debts to income and they look in your bank account and you have $10, they're going to be less likely to make that exception. So it really does help if you have some money saved, but it's not absolutely necessary. So we're going to look at the assets, bank statements again, 401ks, IRAs. And then lastly, we're going to take a look at credit. Now there's 3 different credit bureaus: Equifax, TransUnion, and Experian. When we're doing a preliminary interview like this for pre-qualification, we only pull one bureau. We just pull TransUnion. It'll give us a general view of what your credit looks like. And again, you're going to be looking at the credit with me if you have access to a computer. So those are the 4 components. We're going to look at employment history, we're going to look at income, we're going to look at your assets, and we're going to take a look at your credit. Once I have all those components put together, I'm going to actually start plugging numbers in. And again, you're watching me, and we're going to determine what's the very most you can qualify for to buy. Then the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to find out from you what monthly payment you think you'd really be comfortable with. And based on that number you give me, I'm going to back into that and tell you, you can buy this much house, and at today's interest rate, it'll give you this payment that you're comfortable with. So I'm going to give you 2 different levels: what's the most you can qualify for, and then what size house you can buy or what price home you can buy to give you the monthly payment you think you'd really be comfortable with. Now, going back to your credit, if you do have credit issues, we'll talk about some things that we can do to we'll give you some direction on what you can do to get your credit scores up higher and get some issues corrected. If we feel that you really need credit repair and it's beyond our scope, we'll recommend a credit repair service. And they have a great guarantee with this service. They'll get you to a 640 credit score guaranteed within 12 months, or they'll give you any money you've had to pay them for their service. They'll give you that money back, and that's a guarantee they give you. So that's pretty cool stuff. Anyway, that's what a pre-qualification is. Remember, before you begin the process, you have to get pre-qualified. All of our contact information is on the website. You can call me, you can email me. There's a contact button here, tab on our site as well. So thank you so much for stopping by. I really appreciate you taking the time, and I look forward to seeing you on the other side. Make it a great day.